Hello, Aquarius. Thank you for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Chakra Wisdom Tarot by Tori Hartman. Supportive oracle cards are the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. All right. Excuse me. Put those up there. Move these over here. What do we have for Aquarius? Not bad. Let's see what we have with the tarot cards. Oh. Okay. I think this is going to go really well. Let's go through the cards to find out first. Whale Spirit is where we're starting. It's been showing up a lot today, which is cool. What I feel, it says, trust the great mystery. What I feel from it is a family atmosphere. It feels very family-like to me. I'm kind of feeling like this is caring for other people. In your situation, I feel like the catch and release situation is fine too, in the sense of like when somebody needs you, you pull them close. When you think they've had enough, or or when you think they've been around a little while and they need to set off on their own, you kind of like kick them out of the nest, like go, like go. You need to live your life now. I've done what I can for you. Now go try to live it. That's what I feel for you. The whales, I don't think whales usually do that. I think they stay together, but I'm feeling like when it's time to move on, you kind of push somebody to move on. I feel like you're good with that, for those of you this is going to hit with. Now, what's going on in the environment is the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Five of Wands deeper in the environment. So there's arguments going on around you, but there's people, people want to do what they want to do, and they're arguing about what they're getting done. They want control of what they're going to do. They have a lot of ideas about what they're going to do. I don't see you really getting involved with this. You seem to be watching it from the, I don't want to say the outside. It's like from like a different room. It's almost like it's happening in the living room and you're watching from the kitchen. It's kind of like that feel. People arguing, they want to do what they want to do. They're going to try to move forward with it. Other people are complaining and saying, I don't want to do that. Let's do something different. You seem to be watching this, but you're not getting involved at this point. Bickering. It feels like bickering. But it's not that bad. There's not like a negative, like coming at somebody, anger. It's just kind of like bickering. Like, no, I don't want to do that. You do that. No, you're stupid. No, I'm stupid. You're stupid. It's one of those like bickering, stupid bickering. Now, you keep an eye on the situation as we keep going forward, I'm noticing. You have the Dog Spirit. For this, I do feel like the loyalty is very strong with you. You're very loyal to what's going on around you. But you're also kind of like, I'm not looking to live somebody else's life. It takes way too much effort. And that you also pull in somebody else's karma when you try to live their life for them. You're not interested in that. You're watching, you're sort of policing the situation. When I'm getting with the Dog Spirit, I'm kind of getting a policing situation. But at the same time, you're like, I'm not getting involved unless I have to. You're just keeping an eye out to see if you're going to need to police something. And there's a little bit of fallout here in the environment. The Five of Cups is making me feel like people are complaining. It's not really that bad, though. And I feel like from your viewpoint, you're like, well, that didn't really pull off the best. But it's not that bad. And some people seem to be complaining more than they really should be. You're also trying to keep an eye on it because you're also aware of like the chameleon situation going on here. Act as if it is. When I'm feeling chameleon in the environment, the way you're approaching it is kind of like, I know you're selling me a line and you're complaining a lot, but I'm not really buying that it's that bad. But at the same time, maybe there's other things here. Maybe it is. Maybe it is, and I'm not really sure. So I am going to keep my eye on it and try to get a little deeper into this to see what's actually going on. But you still seem to be looking out for people. You seem to be just trying to make sure things are working out the way they should be. You're looking out for others. But again, you're like, are you whining more than you should be, or am I not seeing this in the true light, and is it worse than I think? You're trying, like the chameleon is like, what am I really looking at here? What am I really looking at here? That's what you really want to know. So I do feel like this is the part at this point, because you're like, something, I just can't really put my finger on it. I can't really see it very well. You're getting involved with it. You're trying to step into the whole situation. You are getting this, at this point, you're getting more directly involved. Not in a decision-making way, but like in a supportive, let me help, let me see what everybody's dealing with, let me see what I can do to be a part of this, so I can get some more information to see what's really going on here, ask some questions, talk a bit, get a little bit more involved. The koi fish and the parrot spirit are showing up in the environment. Koi fish is always, there's always enough. Parrot is watch your words. This is the environment. Whoever's crying poverty here, like, it's almost saying, like, they're complaining about the slop that they have to eat, yet then you look over in their refrigerator and they have tons of leftovers. Like, they have a lot of things, they're just complaining about what they don't have. And you're watching the situation and you're just kind of like, all right, there are some bad things here, but they're not really doing the effort to fix it. Like, or there are some things that are bad here, but they're going towards it and they're making it worse instead of concentrating their effort over here where they should be. And you're seeing what's really going on here, and you're just kind of like, I'm not a fan of this. They're crying poverty, and you know, maybe they don't have the best car, but they do have these other situations. They do have a truck here that they could also use. They just don't want to. So, I don't know about this. They're crying poverty, but it's kind of like they're blowing themselves in at the same time. That's what I'm getting. They're saying things are really bad, but then at the same time they're throwing themselves under the bus. That's what I'm getting. As it keeps going forward, I feel like you're talking to this person and you're just kind of like, I feel like it's a person. You're having conversations trying to pull them up out of the ridiculousness. For some of you, you're quite direct. For others of you, you're a lot more coy. You have to decide what's going to actually be effective here. Definitely subjective. You're going to know what to do when the time comes. Some people, you just got to tell them directly, like, listen, get out, knock it off. Other people, you're like, oh, okay, well, let's look at this. You have to coddle them a little bit. Whatever you feel like you have to do. You seem to know. I see you also, like, keeping an eye on the situation and keep communicating with this person, this person who cries wolf. You're trying to get them to like pick themselves up and like stay up. Like, you're trying to get them to be like, pick yourself up out of that hole, and now that you're out of it, stay out of that hole. Like, don't slide back into it. So you're trying to work with that information. You have to keep on this. I feel like you have to keep this person moving. You have to keep nudging them forward, whoever it is. And you're trying to find a way to self-motivate them. That's the Hermit card is what I'm getting. I don't know if you're really going to find it. You seem to keep having to communicate. As long as you keep moving them forward, they seem to be okay. They like this attention. That's actually what they want from you. They like that personal attention. That does seem to make things a lot better for them. It also seems to make the situation more stable. If that's something you're willing to put up with, that's another thing. But the more you give this communication, the more you give this attention, the better the situation goes. The elephant spirit coming in here, it says, learn from the past. That kind of makes sense. If you decide that you're really fed up with this and you don't want to keep doing this, just accept that it's going to backslide, because that's what's going to happen. Otherwise, you might have to find somebody else to kind of tend to this person, is what I'm getting. What the advice here is, find a way to communicate with this person and keep them on point that you can actually live with. If you feel like it's too much right now, try to scale it back, but slowly scale it back and see how far you can get and still keep them productive or keep them on point. That's the stability for this situation, because it seems like it's necessary for this situation. The end of this here, changing this over, this person, like, there's nothing wrong with them, but they just might not match your personality very well. So if this is a lover situation, even if it's a friendship, they might need more attention than you're really comfortable with. Because I feel like when you really keep scaling it back to a part where you're comfortable, they're not comfortable. And they feel like they're lacking. And I'm getting the otter spirit with them is like, they feel kind of left out if they don't have that constant communication. So especially if it's a lover, I feel like that could be an issue. When you scale it back, you might have to find like a fluctuation with it. Like sometimes it's more comfortable for you, sometimes it's more comfortable for them, and you just got to fluctuate it back and forth to keep the situation going. But the fact that someone is always going to be uncomfortable, that seems to be an issue. Armadillo is saying once you figure out the pattern, to keep the situation on point, you're going to have to kind of stick with it and be diligent with it. It says set healthy boundaries. Be careful not to let it go too far, is what I'm getting. If this is a lover situation, that's very concerning, because I feel like this might be a rough match. You have Buffalo Spirit here, like saying it can succeed. The situation can succeed, but you're going to have to find a way to get used to it. There's a lot of love coming towards you. Is that the Ace of Cups? Yeah, a lot of love coming towards you. You finding a way to be okay with it. That's the whole thing of the Temperance. Just finding a way to get comfortable with it. The Four of Cups is between you. Again, someone will always be uncomfortable, one way or another. If you can find a way to pull it back and forth and like ebb and flow it a little bit, sometimes you're uncomfortable, sometimes they're uncomfortable, sometimes you're uncomfortable, sometimes they're uncomfortable. It never seems to settle in the center. It's kind of like a slope, one way or the other. It's just like there's a transition where you seem to be both happy for a very short period, and then it goes one person's favor, and then it goes to the other person's favor, and just keeps going back and forth. I feel like they're just trying to give you a better view of the situation and what's really going on here. I don't know. You might have to make other changes if you decide this isn't worth it. But if you want to keep it, that seems to be the best way to make it work out, if that makes sense. Anything else with that? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.